Hey guys, I am the Fallen Jedi and welcome back to another video today. Today's video I'll be ranking all the reinforcements that are in the game Star Wars Battlefront 2 from worst to best. Before we jump in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content in the future. That would be much appreciated for the channel. Now remember guys, this is just my opinion and I do like all reinforcements. But feel free to let me know your rankings and if you'd like these ranking videos down below in the comments section. Also, let me know of any other ranking video you would like to see for Star Wars. Without further ado, let's get into the ranking. So coming in at last place is the EWOK Hunter. Now I love playing as an EWOK. I was extremely excited to use them when they came out into the game, but their damage is not the best. The automatic fire takes a while to kill an enemy, but if you want to kill an enemy quicker, then you must manually aim, which is difficult at times. Do not get me wrong, I do like the EWOK Hunter, but it just does not provide that wow factor I look for in reinforcements. Yes, it is hard to get killed using them as they are small, and the Wissty's pouch does some nice damage if you can hit a group of enemies, but the other abilities are just standard. I still think they are a great addition to the game, but it just does not give me what I'm looking for in a reinforcement. So now coming in at the 14th spot is the DROIDEKA. Again, I find them an awesome addition, probably one of the coolest reinforcements, but as gameplay wise, I'm not that good with them. I find the transition of the wheel form ability takes forever to get back into normal attacking mode, and usually that causes death. I do think these are the right amount of damage, and when you can use the overload and shield, that can be a very deadly combination. I know a lot of people like to flank behind enemies, which I find is one of their best assets as a reinforcement, but I just find the transformation of the wheel form to normal position takes too long and I am dead in like a few seconds. Coming in at 13th, we have ISB Agent. Now I love the melee of this reinforcement and the assault training when trying to get out of battles or just escaping, as you take 50% damage reduction. The Imperial Intel ability is a very nice ability, as you can see where enemies are, and double your effort ability is a nice support ability, but I find that the ISB Agent is not an amazing reinforcement. It may just be from doing less damage than other reinforcements, or just not being able to use both triggers for the dual pistols, which I really miss. I find it a good reinforcement, but not great. So now coming in at 12th, we have the CAPHEX Spy. To start off, I've been very on and off with them. I find some maps I do well with them, some maps I find them useless. I like the rapid fire ability as it does some nice damage, but I do find that scanner beacon and the truncheon attack doesn't do much for myself. Now it could be me misusing the abilities, but I just don't enjoy using them as much as the other reinforcements. Don't get me wrong, they are definitely good to use and do nice damage. It is like those just two abilities just throw me off. This is why they come in at number 12. So now coming out at 11th, we have the Jump/Jet Troopers. These are the same as the rocket droids as well. I do not think they have much difference, only except for the First Order Jet Trooper, but I will get into that later in the video. These guys are really fun to use as their mobility is really good and they do quite some nice damage, but they are very weak due to their health. But this is because of the little bit of the balancing Star Wars Battlefront has. Their mobility and rocket launcher is really good. Good players can definitely rack up some nice kill streaks with them, but when they go against heroes, they're done. But they are just really weak, which makes them go into this spot. That's the reason why they go into number 11. So now coming out at 10th, we have the First Order Jet Trooper. Now this is separate from the Jump/Jet Troopers because they are completely different to them. These guys can hover in the air for a longer period of time and use their air advantage with the tri-barrel launcher. They have more health than the other Jet/Jump Troopers, which makes it easier to stay alive. But the only downfall to this reinforcement is that their jet tackle isn't the best. Yes, they have done some work on it so you can have more control with it, but it still doesn't bring that amazing factor for me. Personally, they are really fun to use and are a very unique reinforcement compared to the others. Coming in at 9th is the FLAMETROOPERS. These guys can definitely rack up the kills if you are in a closed-in area, but this is the FLAMETROOPERS' downside, that it cannot play in all maps. The three abilities of the Employer, Overload and Fortify are really nice abilities to use and they work so well with the FLAMETROOPERS. The only downside of these reinforcements is that they have no range and are only good on certain maps. I'm sure they would be much higher if they were good in other categories, but just only in closed-in areas. So now coming out at 8th is the OVISSIAN gunner. Now they are very overpowered. If used right as sentries in the game are so good. I love using them. I have found that the charge ability has improved over the years, and the anti-armor is a nice ability as it does some splash damage with the explosions. The defensive stance is just a regular ability. A lot of other reinforcements have that same ability, but the only downfall for me with them is the sentry takes a while to start shooting, and you're most likely going to die pretty soon in that while it's waiting to fire. I obviously know that it is preferred to go back from longer distance and start firing, but I still do enjoy using them, but I prefer other reinforcements over the OVISSIAN gunner. Coming in at 7th is the Clone Commando. Now don't get me wrong, but I think they have the coolest appearance in the game with the camouflage skin. I love that appearance. That is just going off by the reinforcement appearances. I love the damage and the movement of the Clone Commando. There is not too much downside to them as I love the anti-armor attachment, how it fires up with 3 grenades, and I do like the battle focus ability because any damage the commando deals to the enemies, it replenishes his base health. The only thing I can be on and off about is the repulsor blast, as it doesn't have much range and is only used in short range areas. I don't use it enough as I think the blaster does some nice damage to your enemies, but overall I like the Clone Commando. It is a very nice reinforcement. So now coming in at 6 is the Wookiee Warriors. Now the Wookiee Warriors were my favourite reinforcement to use. Like, I still really enjoy them, but getting the slam added to them and getting rid of the fortify just made them not as good. I love the fortify as it was probably the ability that made them overpowered, as the overload does some crazy damage and those thermal imploders will kill anyone that is near the ability. I don't mind the slam, but it doesn't cover enough area. Overall, I really love using the Wookiee Warriors. It was the only switch with the abilities that put the Wookiee Warriors lower. So now coming in at 5th is the Commando Droids. When this reinforcement came out, I didn't really expect too much out of them. The mobility of these reinforcements are insane. They can move quick and jump fairly high. I love the damage they do with their blasters. The thermal vision is a really good vision reader as it can show where the enemies are, including through walls and other obstructions. This ability also scrambles enemy scanners as well. The smoke screen is a very nice addition as you can use it to escape a situation, and then they have the right mobility to get out of a certain situations. The only thing that is good but not at the same time is the Vibro Sword. Yes, it is great against troopers, but when you go against a hero, it does not much damage. That is the only bad thing about them. They are still a really nice reinforcement though. Coming in at 4th is the ARC Troopers. These guys have had a lot of nerfs and buffs through the years. I think what they are now is a perfect balance, but the only problem I have with the fixes is that they remove the double trigger ability where you can have to use both triggers to fire both blasters. The helmet scanner is another gimme, as you can spot enemies from all around the map, even through walls. The shock trap is a great ability to shock enemies and get that advantage by then taking their health down or even killing them while they can't move. The power blast though is amazing and is very toxic in big maps like Kashyyyk and Geonosis, but I cannot forget its secondary blast, which a lot of people's favourite, and it is one of my favourites as well. I really love the ARC Trooper, but I prefer the next 3 reinforcements coming up. Coming in at 3rd place are the SITHTROOPERS. This was a very tough one for me, as I could potentially put it at the number 1 or 2 spot, but I had to think to myself, which one am I more successful with? I mean, these guys are epic. They do great damage with their blasters, mobility is great, have nice health which helps them take on other enemies, and they have that secondary fire which is amazing. The Oppression Grenade is my personal favourite, as I think it's one of the best grenades in the game. The Combat Rush is just an awesome ability to use, and obviously the Seeker Tactics is nice to pick out your enemies. I do not know any real downfalls to them, but I guess the only reason why they are not as high as the other ones is I don't get as many kill streaks with them as the next 2 ranks. Coming in at 2nd place is the B2 Super Battle Droid. Now I think a lot of people may disagree with me here, but I honestly think the Super Battle Droid is legit the same as a Wookiee Warrior, but better due to that fortify ability. Obviously its mobility is not great, but I love the damage they do. The aim assist is one of my favorites on these troops. The overload is just an awesome ability to use to get some quicker and easy kills with it, as it increases your blaster shots. The wrist rocket is just an awesome ability again. It's probably harder to get kills with that ability than the employer, but still a fantastic ability. I have always loved these from the start, and they are usually my go-to reinforcements to rack up kill streaks. Taking the number 1 spot are the Death Troopers. I always had them in my top 5, but after a lot of playing with them, they deserve the number 1 spot. I am sure a lot of people would surely have Death Troopers in their top 5 at least. These guys are awesome. I don't have one thing wrong with them at all. The Sonic Imploder does some amazing damage and covers a great area. The Overload I find is the best overload ability in the game, and to team it up with the Fortify is just an awesome combination. It really is the perfect reinforcement if you want kill streaks, to kill heroes, as they are probably the best reinforcement to kill a hero, and just have heaps of fun with them. I couldn't ask for a better reinforcement than the Death Troopers. So now that's going to do it for me, guys. Yes, this was my opinion, so don't take it too personal, but still do feel free to comment your thoughts on my ranking and your ranking down below in the comment section. Let me know if you would like to see any other ranking videos. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Please feel free to check out my videos that will pop up in a sec. As always, may the Force be with you.